Australia is full of long, lonely roads and old bridges hidden deep in the dark. Some say they hold stories that never ended. When the sun goes down, the wind carries voices, and the shadows begin to move. Tonight, we're taking you across 10 cursed bridges and abandoned roads in Australia that locals refuse to cross after dark. So lock your doors, turn down the lights, and remember, not every road leads you home. If you love exploring Australia's darkest legends, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, before something else finds you first. 1. Wakehurst Parkway, New South Wales. Wakehurst Parkway looks peaceful by day, a stretch of winding road through the bushlands north of Sydney. But at night, drivers say the air changes. It feels colder, quieter, as if something unseen is waiting. For decades, people have reported seeing a woman in white suddenly appear on the side of the road. Some say she looks lost, others swear she appears inside the car, sitting silently in the back seat. Locals call her Kelly. According to legend, she died here in a crash long ago, and her spirit still wanders, searching for a way home. Police records show several strange accidents in the same area, cars found off the road with no clear cause. Drivers claim their headlights flicker or the steering locks just before impact. Even taxi drivers avoid this road at night. One driver said he saw a figure run across the road, forcing him to slam the brakes, but when he looked around, there was no one there. Just mist hanging in the air. Wakehurst Parkway isn't long, but if you drive it after midnight, some say you'll feel her presence. And if you see her face in your rearview mirror, don't look twice. 2. Lemon Tree Passage Road, New South Wales. In the quiet coastal town of Lemon Tree Passage lies a road with a dangerous legend. Locals warn newcomers, never drive fast here at night. The story began decades ago, after a young man died in a motorcycle crash on this stretch of road. His friends were racing that night, showing off their speed. Since then, people claim a glowing light chases reckless drivers who go too fast. Many have tried to prove it's just headlights or reflections, but videos and eyewitness accounts say otherwise. The light appears suddenly, follows cars at incredible speed, then disappears into the trees. Police once investigated repeated calls about this light but found nothing. No person. No vehicle. Just silence. Tourists sometimes come here to test the legend, revving engines, laughing nervously. But locals shake their heads. They've heard the screams, the tires screeching, and the crashes that followed. One man said he saw the light behind him, growing brighter and brighter, until it vanished, leaving the air thick and cold. When he stopped, his car engine died, and he couldn't restart it for almost an hour. Lemon Tree Passage Road may look peaceful by day, but once the sun goes down, it remembers. 3. The Bloody Mile, Shellharbour, New South Wales. Shellharbour's Bloody Mile is a short stretch of highway, but one that's soaked in tragedy. Since the 1950s, this road has seen countless crashes, mysterious deaths, and unexplained disappearances. Locals say it began with a series of violent accidents involving truck drivers and travelers heading along the coast. But some believe something darker lingers here, a curse that feeds on fear. Emergency workers have long called this section the Bloody Mile because of the constant accidents. Many drivers reported losing control for no reason, as if something invisible tugged at the wheel. Others spoke of seeing figures standing on the roadside, covered in blood, waving for help, only to vanish when approached. One police officer claimed he stopped for what he thought was a stranded woman. When he stepped out, she disappeared, leaving behind muddy footprints leading nowhere. Locals still say that on foggy nights, red lights flicker in the distance, not from cars, but from something older. Some drivers even hear banging on their car doors as they pass through. No one knows how many lives the Bloody Mile has taken. But everyone in Shellharbour knows this: when you drive that way at night, don't stop for anyone. 4. Newell Highway. Stretching across hundreds of kilometers through New South Wales, the Newell Highway looks endless, and eerily empty. Truckers call it the loneliest drive in Australia. Many say strange lights follow them across the plains. Bright orbs that appear behind or beside their trucks, keeping pace for miles before suddenly vanishing. Scientists have tried to explain them as mirages or reflections, but too many drivers tell the same story. Some travelers have gone missing here, their vehicles found abandoned by the roadside, engines still running. Others reported hearing voices on the CB radio, whispers that didn't come from any known frequency. There's also the tale of the phantom hitchhiker, a young woman seen waving near the highway's edge. Drivers who stopped say she asked for a lift, then vanished mid-ride. When they pulled over, the seat was cold and empty. At night, fog creeps low over the highway, turning everything into a pale blur. Locals say if you drive too long without rest, the road starts playing tricks on you, shadows move, and faces appear where no one stands. The Newell Highway connects towns and cities, but it's also connected to stories that refuse to die. 5. Mount Victoria Pass/Victoria Pass. High in the Blue Mountains lies Mount Victoria Pass, a beautiful but haunted stretch of the Great Western Highway. Built in the 1800s, it's a piece of Australian history and horror. For more than a century, drivers have reported seeing a woman in a long dress walking along the road. She's said to be the ghost of Caroline Collitz, murdered nearby in 1842. Her killer was caught, but her restless spirit, they say, never found peace. Truck drivers often tell stories of a pale figure appearing in their headlights before vanishing into the night. Others say they've heard crying from the cliffs above, or seen a lantern swinging in the dark. In the 1970s, several fatal crashes occurred on the same bend. Witnesses swore they saw someone step into the road right before impact, but when rescue crews arrived, no body was ever found. The locals of Hartley and Mount Victoria say that if you drive there after midnight, you might see her, standing by the edge, waiting for someone to notice. Some believe she's warning travelers of danger. Others think she's still looking for help that never came. Either way, no one stays long enough to find out. 6. Tunks Creek Bridge, Galston Gorge, New South Wales. Hidden deep inside Galston Gorge, Tunks Creek Bridge is a narrow, twisting path surrounded by cliffs and heavy forest. During the day, it looks peaceful, birds, water below, sunlight through trees. But when the sun sets, everything changes. Drivers say strange things happen here at night. You hear footsteps on the bridge when no one's there. The sound of breathing just outside your window. Some have seen a dark figure standing at the middle of the bridge, watching as they approach, then vanishing as headlights hit. Locals tell stories of a woman who lost her life here decades ago when her car skidded off the wet bridge. Since then, people claim her ghost walks the road searching for her child who never made it home. Tow truck drivers say they avoid this place after dark. One man swore that while waiting for a car to be pulled up, his radio turned on by itself, whispering static that formed a single word, leave. Even experienced travelers admit, the air here feels different. Heavier. As if the bridge remembers every scream that ever echoed across it. 7. Great Western Highway/Victoria Pass section near Hartley, NSW. The Great Western Highway cuts through breathtaking mountain views, but near Hartley, there's a section that makes even the bravest drivers uneasy. Many call it a cursed stretch, especially around Victoria Pass. Locals talk about ghostly figures appearing from the mist, standing on the side of the road, waving for help. But when you slow down, they're gone. Truckers have told stories for years, engines failing for no reason, headlights flickering out, radios filled with whispers. Some believe the spirits here are from old accidents that claimed lives along the dangerous curves. In the 1800s, convicts built this road through steep cliffs. They say many workers died in rockfalls and were buried nearby. Since then, travelers claim to hear the clang of picks and shovels in the dead of night, echoing from the valley below. One resident near Hartley swears that every few months, he sees a light move slowly down the old pass, not a car light, but a single lantern swaying back and forth. When he follows it, it disappears behind the trees. Even today, the highway is beautiful, but no one forgets what lies in its shadows. 8. Anti-Gravity Hill, Straws Lane, Woodend, Victoria. At first glance, Anti-Gravity Hill looks like any quiet country lane near Woodend. But when you stop your car here and shift into neutral, something impossible happens: your vehicle begins to roll uphill. Scientists explain it as an optical illusion caused by the landscape. Locals aren't so sure. They say long ago, a tragic accident happened here. A bus full of schoolchildren crashed on the road. The story claims that when drivers stop on the same spot, unseen hands push their car uphill, keeping them safe from danger. Visitors leave handprints of baby powder on their bumpers, and when they roll, they swear new prints appear. Others report strange sensations, the feeling of being watched, whispers carried by the wind. Phones and cameras often glitch when recording the slope, as if the place resists being captured. Whether illusion or haunting, everyone agrees, Anti-Gravity Hill defies reason. And when night falls, the silence there feels far too alive. 9. Tanami Road, Northern Territory/Western Australia. They call it one of Australia's loneliest highways, Tanami Road, stretching hundreds of kilometers through red desert and endless emptiness. Travelers say once you leave the last town behind, there's no phone signal, no houses, just dust, wind, and your own heartbeat. Truck drivers tell stories of bright lights following them through the night, glowing orbs that hover, then vanish. The indigenous communities nearby speak of ancient spirits that walk the desert, protecting sacred land. More than a few people have disappeared here. Their vehicles found days later with full tanks and open doors, but no footprints leading away. One driver recounted waking up in his truck parked on the roadside, though he never remembered stopping. His GPS showed a detour through the desert that doesn't exist on any map. Even modern travelers describe hearing voices on the wind, calling their names. Some say if you see the lights of Tanami Road, you should never follow them. They don't lead you to safety, they lead you away from it. 10. Belanglo Road/Belanglo State Forest, New South Wales. Few places in Australia carry a darker reputation than Belanglo State Forest. Deep within it, Belanglo Road winds through thick trees and heavy silence. It's infamous not only for its crimes, but for what people feel when they pass through. Drivers talk about sudden cold winds inside their cars, headlights flickering, and a feeling that someone's watching from the trees. Hikers say they've heard footsteps behind them, soft, steady, never stopping, though no one's there. Some have even seen figures darting between the trunks, just out of sight. Locals avoid the road after dark. They say the forest doesn't like visitors. Wildlife acts strangely here, too. Kangaroos freeze mid-jump, birds go silent, and even dogs refuse to enter. One night, a traveler reported his GPS malfunctioning, guiding him deeper into the woods instead of out. When he finally found his way back, hours had passed, though he'd only driven a few kilometers. Belanglo isn't just a forest. It's a memory of everything dark and lost, a place where the past still breathes, and the road never really ends. Australia's wild beauty hides many secrets, some buried in sand, others trapped in asphalt. These roads and bridges still whisper to those who listen. So if you ever find yourself driving alone at night and the air grows cold, maybe it's time to turn back. Which of these cursed roads would you dare to cross? Tell us in the comments, and remember, not every path is meant to be traveled.